Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we will discuss about the ideology of Islam, ideology of Pakistan. First, we will discuss what is an ideology. Ideology is the combination of two words. Ideo means ideas and logos means science. Thus, ideology means science of ideas. Ideology is a set of beliefs, ideas, and values which directs one's goal. According to a French philosopher, ideology means science of ideas. Ideology means science of ideas. And this word was used by the French philosopher during the French Revolution, meaning thereby as a study of the origin of the evolution and nature of ideas. Another definition of ideology is an ideology is a form of social or political philosophy in which practical elements are as prominent as theoretical ones. It is a system of ideas that aspire both to explain the world and to change it. According to David Apter, ideology helps to make more explicit the moral basis of action. Here, the word explicit defined or meaning of explicit is clear. So, ideology helps to make more explicit the moral basis of action. In the words of Allman, ideology plays a decisive role of linking thoughts to behavior. Ideology offers an interpretation of the past, an explanation of the present, and a vision of the future. Interpretation of the past, explanation of the present, and vision of the future. So, ideology is very much important in any nation's life. Now we can discuss the kinds of ideology. Ideology basically is of three kinds. Number one is religious ideology. Number two, political ideology. Number three, economic ideology. Religious ideology. Religious ideology, which deals to establish a social and living system in the light of basic principles of the religion. Then political ideology, which deals to establish a specific political system. Political ideology relate to the political system of any country or any state or any theory, a political system of the followers of that ideology according to their thinking. Then economic ideology, which deals to solve the financial problem of the nation, and that is capitalist economy or the communist economy. Ideology is a motivating force for a nation. Ideology is very much important um, uh, in any nation's life, because it is a motivating force for a nation which is striving hard to bring stability to its nationhood. It provides the cement binding base. Here, cement binding base means a strong base to the scattered group in a society, and brings them closer to each other on a common platform. Common platform means point of view, ideology, thoughts, beliefs. So, ideology, it provides the cement binding base to the scattered group in a society and brings them closer to each other on a common platform. Actually, ideology gives shape to the revolutions and gave birth to new culture and civilization. Every nation has a specific goal. To achieve national goals, there is need of ideology that leads the nation in the right directions. To achieve the settled goal, ideology proves helpful in the following ways. Number one is ideology provides a purposeful life. Ideology give way towards the purposeful full life. Secondly, it keeps people of a society united. Then ideological nations face no problem in the legislation because basic principle already exist in the form of ideology, like Pakistan was created on the base of the on the religion of Islam. So in Pakistan, legislation on the constitutional process have a base of Islamic rules and regulations. Ideology plays a vital role in the national identity. It discriminates a nation from others. It discriminates the nation from others. Then, how ideology emerges? Emergence of ideology is very natural phenomena. Uh, It ideology often reflects the way of thinking of a nation or a social group who has been rejected a social position which otherwise would have been its due place in the society. It grows among the dissatisfied and annoyed group of society as a challenge to the prevailing social setup. Here, prevailing means existing. So, society as a challenge to the existing social setup. According to Christensen, an ideology emerges when people feel strongly that they are being mistreated under an existing order, when their status is threatened by the fundamental changes occurring in the society, and when the prevailing ideology no longer satisfies them. The prevailing ideology no longer satisfies them. When people are not feeling comfortable in the existing order, then they move to a new thought. They and adopt a new ideology. Basis of ideology of Pakistan. Every movement has an ideology behind it. Ideology of Pakistan is ideology of Islam. Basically, ideology of Pakistan is based on the concept of ideology of Islam, and the ideology of Islam is based on the concept of Tawheed, on the basis of which Muslim of subcontinent struggle for a separate homeland. Here we discuss sources of ideology of Pakistan. First source of ideology of Pakistan is Quran Majid, Holy Quran, then Sunnah, then traditions and cultural values. Following are the elements of ideology of Pakistan. Elements of ideology are very much important to understand the ideology of Islam and ideology of Pakistan. Here we will discuss the elements in detail. First one is Kalmai Tawheed. Tawheed means Allah is one, who alone is creator and Lord of everything. The base of ideology of Pakistan is Tawheed, means oneness of Allah Almighty. He is alone. Allah is one who is alone and the creator or and the Lord of everything. Second one is brotherhood. Brotherhood is very much important in the teachings of Islam. Islamic society is based on the brotherhood, promotes feeling of affection and mutual selfless cooperation. To establish such a society, the Muslim of India started struggle for separate homeland. Then, Islamic system of life. Islam is not a religion. Islam is not only a religion, rather, it is a complete code of life which brings the solution of social, political, and economic needs of human beings. And the fourth one is Islamic concept of sovereignty. Sovereignty. Sovereignty means supreme power or supreme authority. According to Islam, Allah is the creator and sovereign of the universe. Muslim of subcontinent wanted such an Islamic state where they can exercise the powers granted by Allah as a sacred trust. So we can say, yeah, we can define, uh, or we can discuss, in the words of Quaid-e-Azam, what the ideology of Pakistan is. He said, Pakistan came into existence when the first Muslim put his feet on the soil of subcontinent. It is as old as the emergence of Islam on this soil. Differentiating the Hindus and the Muslim ideologies, Quaid-e-Azam said the Hindus worship cows, whereas the Muslims slaughter it. A huge difference in two ideologies, defined by the Quaid-e-Azam, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, or explained by the Quaid-e-Azam, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, in this quotation. So, now we are going to start definitions of ideology of Pakistan. Ideology of Pakistan is defined by the different scholar as Sayyid Ali Abbas defined ideology as Pakistan as ideology of Pakistan and ideology of Islam has the same meaning. Actually, ideology of Pakistan in the practical shape ideology of Pakistan is the practical shape of teaching of Islam. Then, Dr. Aslam Sayyid, a prominent historian, defined the ideology of Pakistan as ideology of Pakistan is the name of molding of individual and collective life according to Islam and also of saving from conflicting ideologies. Conflicting ideologies means different ideologies like ideologies of Hinduism, Buddhism, etc. So, the ideology of Pakistan is totally different from all these ideologies. Ideology of Pakistan basically have a logic, and that logic is Tawheed, the concept of Tawheed. The creation of Pakistan was unique in the sense that it was based on an ideology which required its root from the religion of Islam. The famous slogan, Pakistan का मतलब क्या? La ilaha illallah. And this slogan was given by Professor Asghar Sodai, and he was an educationist, and he was from Sialkot. He belongs to Sialkot. So, Pakistan का मतलब क्या? La ilaha illallah became the core of the freedom movement and the basis of Pakistan. As far as the meaning and definition of ideology of Pakistan is concerned, it basically means that we can understand the ideology of Pakistan through these words easily or in detail. Pakistan should be our state. Here, we have discussed the meaning or definition of an ideology. Ideology is an interpretation of the past, explanation of the present, and vision. This is the vision. This is the prediction. Pakistan should be a state where the Muslims should have an opportunity to live according to their faith and creed based on the Islamic principle. Actually, the slogan define या actually the famous slogan पाकिस्तान का मतलब क्या? La ilaha illallah is also a prediction. It is a vision for a future of a state where we must implement a religion which is which has strong roots, which has a strong logic, and that is Tawheed. So, Pakistan should be a state where the Muslims should have an opportunity to live according to their faith and creed based on the Islamic principle. They should have all the resources at their disposal to enhance Islamic culture and civilization because this was the sole purpose of demanding a separate homeland for the Muslim. Separate homeland for the Muslim. Then evolutionary process of ideology of Pakistan. Ideology of Pakistan took shape through evolutionary process. And number one, historical experiences provided the base. Historical experience means our past experience or history of Islam, history of Muslims, and especially history of the Muslims of subcontinent provided the base. Allama Iqbal gave a philosophical explanation, and the philosophy of Allama Iqbal was based on the concept of egoism. And the concept of egoism represent the heritage of Muslim community or Muslim nation of subcontinent. Then number three, Jinnah translated into a political reality. And we have a political reality in the shape of Pakistan, an independent sovereign Muslim state. And the number four, Constituent Assembly of Pakistan. Constituent Assembly of Pakistan, by passing objective resolution, gave it a legal sanction. So this was the evolutionary process of the ideology of Pakistan: historical, philosophical, political, and constitutional. Then two nation theory. Two nation theory, in its simplest way, means the cultural, political, religious, economic, and social dissimilarities between the two major communities, Hindus and Muslim of subcontinent. So the Pakistan movement was revolved around the two nation theory, which becomes the basis of demand for Pakistan. The concept of two nation theory was based on the fact that Muslim were a separate nation having their own religion, history, culture, civilization, customs, literature, festivals, heritage, rituals, social values, and way of life. Here we can see and we can judge that in Islam, each and everything is defined, each and everything of Muslim, each and everything of the religion of Islam is different from any other religion. So they cannot be merged in any other nation because their philosophy of life is based on the principles of Islam. And philosophy of life is based on the principles of Islam means we have logic, okay? And logic on which we are we have claimed the two nation theory or introduced the two nation theory, which is the concept of Tawheed, oneness of Allah Almighty. Then, as a Muslim of India found it difficult to live according to the principles of Islam in the United India, they were forced to demand a separate homeland to safeguard their national and religious identity. National and religious identity. Ideology of Pakistan was based on two nation theory, which meant that Hindus and Muslims were two separate and distinct nations whose understanding of life were different from each other. Definitely, the understanding of Hindu community and the Muslims were totally different because they have their own system, they have their own religion, their own way of life. So, um, they were totally different from each other. Now we are going to start the objective or the aims of the establishment of Pakistan. Number one is enforcement of sovereignty of Allah Almighty. Enforcement of the sovereignty of Allah Almighty. Sovereignty means supreme power. It is the basic belief of Muslims that sovereignty belongs to Allah Almighty. So it was the main purpose or the prime objective to demand the Pakistan that uh, uh, enforcement of sovereignty of Allah Almighty on a state, and where we should follow the instructions or the teachings of Islam, Quran, and Sunnah. The Islamic State is built upon the concept of the sovereignty of Allah Almighty. The prime objective of the demand for Pakistan was based on was the establishment of a state where Almighty Allah's supremacy could be enforced and where the government based on the Islamic principle could be instituted. Means our prime objective was the establishment or the implementation of the sovereignty of Allah Almighty. It was the basic demand for the establishment of Pakistan. Quaid-e-Azam said, "We did not demand Pakistan to acquire a piece of land, but we wanted a homeland where we could introduce Islamic principle." These words of Quaid-e-Azam clear the prime objective of demand for Pakistan. Then establishment of Islamic democracy. Establishment of economic democracy. Democracy, democracy defined by Abraham Lincoln as government of the people, for the people, and by the people. So this is the Western concept of democracy. But in Islam, the concept of democracy is based on equality and justice. So the second objective of the demand for Pakistan was establishment of Islamic democracy. Islam has given an ideal concept of democracy. Islam has given an ideal concept of democracy, which is distinctively different from the Western concept. In Islamic democratic system, everyone is equal and no one enjoys a privileged position on the basis of his social status, color, or creed. Here we can recall the address of last Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam at Mecca. The Khalifa, the Naib of God on earth, strictly follows the principle of Islam and Sunnah in the administration of the state affairs. The Khalifa has dual accountability, and the dual accountability is on earth. He is responsible to the people, and in heaven to Allah Almighty. Then, revival of Muslim image and identity. Here, revival means rebirth or reintroduce the Muslim image and identity. In United India, the Muslims were dominated by the Hindus in every social field. The Muslims were not in a position to compete with the Hindus because of the backwardness in education and politics. The Hindu has adopted harsh attitude which block all channels to prosperity and progress for the Muslim. The national image and identity of the Muslim was in great danger because of the Hindu hostility. Next one is protection of Muslim culture and civilization. As we all know that Muslim have a different, a unique culture and civilization. So uh, this culture and civilization was in danger during the British rule. That's why it is an important point to demand the Pakistan from the Britishers. The Muslim were always a separate nation because of their distinctive cultural values and patterns. The Muslim culture and civilization and literature were the living and proud symbol of the Muslim identity. As a separate and distinct nation, although the Muslim lived with Hindus and other nations for centuries, but yet they proudly maintain their separate image. The Muslim and other nations of the subcontinent remain distinct with an emphasis on the separateness. The Hindu always desired to crush the Muslim as a nation and ultimately to merge them into Hindu society. That's why they feel that they are in danger. They demanded a separate homeland. Several attempts were made by the Hindus to remove Muslim culture and civilization. One of the great objectives of Pakistan movement was the protection of Muslim culture and to save it from Hindu domination. Then two nation theory. Two nation theory was this word was used in subcontinent by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. So two nation theory, the entire freedom movement revolved around two nation, which became the basis of Pakistan, the demand for Pakistan. It means that the Muslim are a separate nation with their distinct culture, civilization, literature, history, religion, and social life. Means we have each and every aspect of life different from Hindu community. Na? Islam is the religion of Muslim, was based on the concept of Tawheed, therefore could not be merged in any other system or religion. The establishment of Pakistan further strengthened the two nation concept, which means that Pakistan would be a country. Here, uh, another prediction or another vision we can see Pakistan would be a country where Islamic principle would be followed. With the creation of Pakistan, it became possible for the Muslim to mold their life according to the principles of Islam, to mold their life according to the principles of Islam. Then, liberation from the harmful Hindu majority. The Muslim came to India with conquering armies and permanently settled in the Indian society. Though maintaining their separate identity, the conversion of Hindus to Islam in the later stages caused the population of India to gradual change. The demographic profile of India was gradually changed after the introduction of Islam. So, with lapse of time, the Muslim came to form one fourth of the total population of India. The Muslim belonged to all walks of life and understandably dominated in all spheres of social life during their rule. The Arab conquest was a blessing for the subcontinent, which attained maximum economic prosperity during Muslim rule. The Muslim domination roused jealousy who had to live under the Muslim in spite of their numerical majority. Numerical majority, here we can say numerical majority means strong in strength, means high strength, high majority. With the advent of the British rule, The Muslim lost their empire and political supremacy. The British extended social treatment to Hindus in views of their numerical strength. In order to win their cooperation, Hindus who were eagerly looking for an opportunity to settle their old score with the Muslim were, were very happy on the terms of the event. I'm sorry, were very happy on the terms of the events. They quickly snatched the the golden opportunity to them by their new masters and joined hands with the rulers of the India for the elimination of the Muslim from Indian society. The British and the Hindus adopted a cruel policy of mass elimination against the Muslim in order to crush them as a nation and subsequently merge them in a Hindu nationalism. The demand for Pakistan was based on this very feelings that the Muslims should be released from the clutches of Hindu domination. Then finally, um, we are going to the end of this topic, and this point is establishment of the balanced economic system. The economic condition of the Muslim before partition was terrible. The Muslims were not in a position to enter in the business and trade because of the biased policy of the government. After the War of Independence of 1857, the British government had banned Muslim entry into government services. All high and civil military positions were reserved for the nation. The Muslims were considered eligible only for low ranking jobs, and the condition of the Muslim were terrible. Their economic condition was very bad at that time. So the agricultural land was mostly owned by the Hindus who fully exploited mean to crush, to damage, fully exploited the Muslim cultivators. The government policy provided no shelter to the Muslim for earning in a respectable manner. So, the major objective of the creation of Pakistan was the establishment of a balanced economic system based on economic principles of Islam, which could be ensure a happy and stable economic life to every individual. Islam introduced the concept of halal and haram. So, we have demanded a state where we could enforce or we could introduce the economic sources or economic methods to earn uh, a good wealth. So, the demand for Pakistan was motivated by the desire of the Muslim to have a homeland of their own where everyone had enough opportunity to earn. So, the economic system of Islam is based on the balanced principle which do not permit an individual to keep wealth and economic resources more than one's need. Qaid-e-Azam, while inaugurating the State Bank of Pakistan on 1st July 1948, said, "The bank symbolized the sovereignty of our people in the financial sphere. The Western economic system is creating unsolvable problems for humanity and would not help us in setting up a workable economic order. It has failed to provide justice to the people. We should evolve an economic system based on Islamic concept of justice and equality." So these were the demands or these were the aims or objectives to demand a sovereign independent Muslim state in 1940. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.